What is going on, everybody? Welcome to my LEGO Star Wars Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order custom minifigure showcase. There are 28 minifigures that I have made to represent the characters from Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order. And yeah, so these are all custom made by me, as well as the Mantis that you obviously see in front of you. And yeah, so I'm pretty much going to be going through and showing off each individual minifigure and kind of talking about my thoughts about the character in the game, and also just how I made them and stuff. But I do want to give a warning: there will be spoilers in this video, so if you've not played through the game or you plan on playing through but you have not played it yet, please do not watch this video, because like I said in my past video, you do not want to be spoiled for this game. So anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it. So to start things off here, we have Cal Kestis wearing his default Jedi Survivor attire. So yeah, I actually started making Jedi Survivor Cal Kestis a few months ago, whenever I knew that the game was coming out, and because, I was hyped for it. And my original design was not that great, but like through time and stuff, I've gotten it pretty good. But yeah, so the face and the hair, I think work decently. I know a lot of people use this hair for Cal Kestis, whether it be his Fallen Order look or, this look. And I've always found it kind of strange because I don't think that this represents his hair that well, especially for the first game. I think it works probably a little bit better for the second game, but it's a little bit blondish to me. It's not super like red. And Cal has like red hair, you know what I'm saying? So I think that it does the job, but I definitely think if it was redder, it would work better. But I think it works well. And then yeah, so obviously you can customize Cal, but at the beginning he kind of has like this default outfit, and it is a like blue kind of vest, and then yeah, so I replicated that with this Republic Anakin's like Clone Wars snow torso, which I think works pretty well. And we just have some dark brown, like sandish brown arms. I gave him a blue lightsaber, and then his feet, it's hard to tell on camera, but they're two different colors. It's black boots with dark brown pants. Yeah, on camera it does not really come across like that, but in person that's what it looks like. And then we also have a satchel. He does not technically have this part of the satchel, but he does have this like rope around the front, so I thought it worked pretty nice. But yeah, so Cal Kestis, obviously he's the main character, and I loved him in this game. It's just leaps and bounds like more developed than he was in the first game. But not to say that the first game's not good, but we needed the first game to make him what he is in the second game. And I really think that the way that they built off of his character was incredible. And obviously you start out the game and he's with a different crew than what he was in the first game. And then we kind of learn, what happened between him and the crew and everything. And just such a cool character. I really love Cal. Before this game, he was already one of my favorite Jedis, but this game, Jedi Survivor, has really solidified him as like probably my second favorite Jedi of all time. So yeah, very cool character. And on top of that version, I also decided to throw in another version of Cal Kestis from Jedi Survivor. This version is more like how I had him looking throughout my playthrough. Obviously, something about Jedi Survivor that is different than Fallen Order is the customization within the game, which was so cool. I think it really just upped the playability to the game. Customization is such a cool part about video games in general. So the fact that they really made it so you don't, like, the first game, all you could customize was, like, his poncho and his outfit color. This game, they went even farther to allow you to customize his beard and hair and, every part of his outfit, which was really, really neat. So, yeah, I kind of just have him with some sort of, shirt on, like, with some armor and stuff. He had a lot of armor and robes type of outfits that you could use in the game. and then just some basic sort of pants going on with some detailing there. And then this one also, he does have BD1 on his shoulder here, so you can also customize BD1, so I got him with some pink legs and stuff, so that's really neat. The face here, we got him with a beard, and then sort of like long swept back hair. And this red is a lot more closer to the color of Cal's actual hair. Like it's very red like this. And this is what I use to make it so he can have BD1 on his shoulder like that, which is really neat. And then yeah, I got the beard like I said, which I always kind of ran with like the short beard. And then I also, you take that hair off, you can put this hair on, you know, give him like shorter hair or whatnot, but yeah, I always ran with the longer hair because I liked how it looked. So yeah, that's kind of just like my customized Cal Kestis from Jedi Survivor. Pretty neat. Here is Bode Akuna. So Bode is a new character in Jedi Survivor, and the beginning mission you start off with him, and you know, he kind of just helps you navigate through the underworlds of Coruscant, and you know, you kind of just get to know him. You learn that he has a daughter, and his wife passed away, and you know, he's fighting the Empire for you know, the safety of his daughter. And like I said earlier, if you want to avoid spoilers, do not watch this video, because you end up figuring out that he is a Imperial informant, and a Jedi as well. And that was just a huge shock. I know I heard a lot of people saying that they saw it coming, but I did not see that coming at all. Like, you know, whenever he talked to or whenever Bo would talk to Cal, and they'd call each other brother, and you know, it really seemed like they were good pals, and I did not see his betrayal coming, but it really just made the game incredible, you know, with that moment you were not expecting, and the fact that he was a Jedi as well was just insane. But yeah, so here's a minifigure I got for him. I do think he has like a kind of neat design, you know, he's kind of just like a scoundrel in a way, but so we got a pose head, which I think works really well for him because it kind of has like the black thick eyebrows and then the stubble. And then this hairpiece is actually Jerry Seinfeld's, and I think it works really well. Actually, it works like perfectly for Bode, because you know, Bode kind of has that, it's not really a mullet, but it's just longer swept back hair like that. And then the torso is a crimson torso that I kind of just painted some basic details to represent Bode's shirt. And the side there, he's got the white lines because that's what he has. And then this was an extra jetpack I had, and so what I did was I just sanded off the top pointy part in order so that the hair would fit, and also because that's just more accurate to Bode's jetpack. And then the pants are two different color browns, one to represent the brown boots. So yeah, and then he has his double blaster pistols, which was pretty neat. But Bode, like, it was crazy. Whenever he betrayed and killed Endo Cordova, I was like, dude. And then you figure out that he's a Jedi? That is really what made me be like, wow, like, that's crazy. And then, you know, he ends up just kind of going off the rails about, you know, wanting to control Tanalorr and keep his daughter safe, and that inevitably is what ends up killing him, and it was crazy. But yeah, I think that he's a neat character, you know, his story and everything, like, nobody saw it coming. So yeah, there's Bode Akuna. Here is Greez Dritus. So Greez, I'm not sure what species he is, but whatever species he is, LEGO has never made a figure of that. So, you know, anytime I see a custom Greez online, it's they all look different. You know, everybody kind of finds their own way to make him. And for me, I just painted a while ago. I painted this gray face on like this gargoyle head. So if you turn it around, it kind of like, you know, it kind of ruins it a little bit. But and then I have this backwards beard to kind of replicate his hair, so it's not the best, and the paint job's not the greatest either, but I worked with what I had. He's a very difficult character to make whenever it comes to his head because Legos just never made something like that. I did see one person made his head out of clay, and it worked really, really well, but yeah, so anyways, and then, so in this game, he kind of wears like a blue outfit, so we just kind of got this blue sort of thing going on, short legs, and then in order to replicate his 4 arms, I did this trick with these clear pieces. So I think it works. I definitely prefer doing this over just leaving it with just the 2 arms. So yeah, it kind of looks like he has 4 arms going on. But yeah, so Greez, I love Greez. I think he's funny, and I'm really happy that he was in the second game and ends up joining you. It's also neat that he has, you know, Pyloon, Saloon, and everything. It's totally something Greez would do, so yeah, and you know, the fact that he just sticks with you and reunites with Cal is really neat. So here is Z, the High Republic droid. I love this character. Whenever you find her in the tomb on Koboh, and she just starts talking, and, you know, you get the flashbacks to Santari Khri, I really just instantly took a liking to her character. And Z actually is who introduces you to Tanalorr, which ends up becoming a big plot of the entire game pretty much, is trying to get to Tanalorr, and that's what she was trying to do until she, like, you know, got stuck in that tomb, and yeah, so she was designed to be the key to help get to Tanalorr. But yeah, she's just super cool. She's from the High Republic. And yeah, she was just like a funny character, and whenever I was playing through, I was kind of just, you know, thinking, how am I going to make her in Lego? And I actually found this pretty neat design that works pretty well, honestly, a lot better than I thought it would. So we have this silver, like, C-3PO droid legs, and then the torso is just flipped over in the back there. And then the head, I have this Ultron, like, armor piece, which works well, and then she kind of has, like, this hovering, helmet piece like this, so I just have a clear brick in between, and then I just stuck this on top, and the only thing I really customized was the, like, yellow slits right there. I just used double-sided tape and then put that in, but, yeah, I think that this turned out really well. I'm pretty happy with it. And I love Z. She's so cool. You know, she ends up being stolen by Dagan and Rayvis, and then she ends up becoming like a sort of like her own little shop where you can, if you collect data discs, you can sell them for abilities and stuff through her. But yeah, she's a really neat character. So here we have Rayvis. Now Rayvis was a character that we saw a lot in the trailer, so it was neat to see who he was and what he was about in the game. And he is the leader of the Bedlem Raiders, which are obviously scattered all throughout Koboh and other planets, pretty much anywhere you go, you're gonna find Bedlem Raiders. And he is the leader of them. So yeah, he's a very large character, which is why for his legs, I kind of gave him extensions here like that. But you know, he's hard to make, and I don't know if this is definitely not a perfect representation of him, but you know, I tried my best. So we got no, that's not Ultron, it's Vision. We have Vision's head, Ultron's armor piece, Batman's torso armor, and then a combination of orange and red sort of armor pieces. And on the legs there, we just have the extensions to make him taller. So yeah, you know, I think it works fine for Rayvis. And yeah, you end up killing him rather early in the game. Like, I definitely, like, whenever you kill him, I definitely thought it was pretty early, but, you know, him teaming up with Dagan was kind of cool, and, you know, I really enjoyed that part of the game. But, yeah, so there is Rayvis. Here we got the one and only Merrin. So I was so hyped to see her back in the game. Obviously, a lot of people were. I definitely think that she's a fan favorite whenever it comes to the Jedi series characters, and yeah, so it was really neat to see her back, and she kind of came back with this sort of not punk look, but, you know, definitely an edgier look compared to how she was on Dathomir in the first game. And yeah, you kind of figure out that she left the crew because she wanted to go and explore the galaxy. You know, she wanted just to live her life, kind of, and it was neat to see her come back full force with the Night Sister powers and everything. And then they end up making it, or making Merrin and Cal a couple, which is something that a lot of people wanted for the game, and it was just really neat whenever they actually let that come to fruition, because yeah, it was just neat. It did not feel forced, like I said in my other video. But yeah, so for Merrin here, if you guys watched my video where I bought minifigures for custom purposes, I got a Harry Potter and I got him for his hair so I could paint it gray and use it for Merrin here. And it works perfectly, other than the fact that her part should be going the other way. But yeah, it's not like I can change that, so I think that works fine. And then the head is from some sort of like emo goth CMF minifigure. And then the torso was a robber torso. I used it because of the jacket, and then I just painted her sort of design there in the torso. And then she has like really basic dark gray pants. So yeah, but I really liked how this minifigure turned out. Yeah, Merrin's really cool. I think I'm so happy that they actually made, you know, the romance between her and Cal go somewhere, because we definitely sensed it through the first game. And I'm excited to see, you know, what happens in the last game, because whenever we see Cal kind of go into the dark side, you know, fall into that trap that is the dark side, Merrin's kind of there to pull him out of it. So I feel like that's going to be a big theme in the next game, that, you know, Merrin is kind of there. She's like kind of there to save Cal in a way, to pull him out of that. But yeah, so there's Merrin. So here is Endo Cordova. So whenever you go into Jedi and Endo greets you, that was really a surprise for me. I did not see that coming, because throughout the entire first game, whenever Endo is giving you, you know, those videos, like telling you like where to locate this holocron, it seemed as if like he had passed away, and he made those videos before he passed away, and yeah, but no, like he was alive. And I guess like it makes sense, because they never really said that he died. But yeah, it's neat to see him alive, working on Jedi with Cere on restoring, you know, the archives and everything. And yeah, you know, he's also the owner of BD1 technically, so it was just neat to see him. So I made him using Obi-Wan Kenobi's pants, Mace Windu's torso, tan arms, and then Han Solo's head, and then Alfred's hair, which works pretty nice, other than the fact I didn't even notice that. You can see his mouth there. But yeah, Endo Cordova, pretty cool. It's too bad that Bode had to kill him. You know, that was really sad, honestly, whenever that happened. And really out of left field. But yeah, so there's Endo. And here we have the one and only Cere Junda. So yeah, she definitely got a big change in this game. Not only physical changes, but just, you know, changing what she's doing, changing her character. You know, she really changed a lot. So obviously, she's bald now, and she did get some tattoos. And actually, I used, I forget her name, but I used the girl from The Mandalorian that got fired. I used her head because she has this little Republic tattoo on her cheek, and Cere actually has two of those on her cheek, so I thought that worked nice for her. And then we got this gray Jedi robe there, and then she has like some sort of shoulder piece, so I just used one of these for that. Then we have Luke's Hoth legs, and then she does not have any sleeves on, so yeah. And then we have her blue lightsaber, because obviously you get to play as her, which was really, really neat. And this girl is a beast whenever it comes to just fighting in combat. She was just taken out scout troopers and stormtroopers left and right like it was nothing. I mean, she brought down 2 AT-ATs. It was crazy. And it was really cool to be able to play as her. And then, in order to buy time for BD1 to get like data files or something, she fights Darth Vader for the second time, and it was incredible getting to see that. And she really gave him a run for his money. She was nowhere close to killing him, but she did damage him. But ultimately, he did kill her, and it was really sad because then Cal was like crying next to her, and it was just really upsetting because she really was Cal's master in many ways. So it was really sad to see that. But yeah, I think something like that with her character was definitely necessary, because in the first game she just seemed a little bit bland. You know, I feel like she just was not a fan favorite. So giving her that sort of push as a character before she died was really cool to see. And yeah, so there is Cere Junda. So this is actually a really cool character. We have Santari Khri. So Santari Khri was alive during the High Republic. She owned Z, the robot, and she like had the key to, I believe it was her and Dagan were the ones that found Tanalorr, and they had the idea that they were gonna make it a safe haven and everything, and then the Order did not want them to go there, and it was a mess. Santari was the one who actually cut off Dagan's arm and everything like that. So yeah, but a lot of tombs that you go to in Koboh, you kind of hear recordings of Santari, you know, saying how to navigate them or what she had planned, and it was just really cool. I think it's really cool that we got to see High Republic people, because A, I love their outfits, and B, it's just cool to see Jedis at their prime. So getting to see Santari was really neat. So I made her using, I believe that this head came in one of the advent calendars on like a scout trooper or something. So yeah, it's a female head. Then I just have Finn's shorter version of his hair, and then this, I forget what it's called, but it was like a CMF torso for her robes, and then white arms, and then this is like Tonto or something like that. It's pants, and it works well because of the red flap there, and she has her blue lightsaber, of course. But yeah, really neat character. So that's Santari Khri. Here is Dagan Gera, one of my favorite characters from the entire video game. He was so cool. From the moment that I saw him in the trailer, I was really interested in, you know, who he would be. I obviously knew he was from the High Republic, and just getting to see his character kind of like flesh out in the game was really, really neat. He was a fallen Jedi who got really angry whenever he was cut off from being able to go to Tanalorr. And Tanalorr became his obsession, really. And yeah, so this version is him whenever you first see him in the Bacta tank. He's like frozen, or not frozen, but he's been in the Bacta tank for like 200 years. He was put in there by Santari Khri, and he was able to be preserved until Cal finds him and lets him out. And then he just like unleashes his wrath, pretty much. He turns his lightsaber to a red color. And he just wants to kill any Jedi, really, and his hunt for Tanalorr continues, even after all that time. So, obviously, he has some very specific features, such as his gray long hair, and his face, and his, like, blue eyes and stuff. So, what I ended up doing was I just painted, on a gray face, and made, his sort of face, pretty much, which was pretty easy to do, and I think it looks pretty good. And then his hair, I took a hair from my friend's character, painted it kind of like sparkly silver, and then on the back it actually works perfectly because you can put his little gold chain there. So yeah, really, really neat. But I love his character, and you end up killing him pretty early on in the game. Not early, but it's like halfway through, and I definitely thought he was going to be a character that stayed till the end. But killing him actually does segue into Bode getting his lightsaber, then you figure out he's a Jedi, so it does make sense. So I also went ahead and made him like in his High Republic robes, which I think look pretty cool. So we got Mace Windu's legs, the 100-year anniversary Lego Ninjago Master Wu torso, which I think works pretty well as well for like his golden Jedi robes, and then got a white arm here, and then obviously he still is missing his arm because it was cut off by Santari Khri. And then the closest color I have to gold, sort of, is this kind of color of cape, so I thought that worked well. And yeah, so he was definitely just one of my favorite characters. I really love Dagan Gera, and yeah, so there he is. So here we have Kata Akuna, obviously being Bode Akuna's daughter. Yeah, she ends up joining your crew. Because whenever you kill Bode, she doesn't really have anywhere to go, so she joins you. And the ending of the game really does just set up what's to come with the next game. They're gonna be like, you know, rebuilding the Order on Tanalorr as a safe haven. Gonna try to bring the Hidden Path there, and along with that, they have Kata, or is her name Kota or Kata? I think it's Kata, yeah. And since her dad is a Jedi, she's probably Force sensitive, so I have a feeling that in the next game they're gonna be trying to, like, you know, teach her in a way how to become a Jedi, which is gonna be really neat. And yeah, it's crazy because Bode really, like, all he cared about is keeping her safe, and in doing so, he almost killed her, and he pretty much like led himself to his own demise. So it's just a crazy story. But yeah, so there we got Kata, and then the last of the sort of main characters, even though he was only in the game for like very little amount of time, this is Denrik. He used to be a part of the Republic, joined the Empire, and ended up hiring Bode to, you know, do all of his dirty work and stuff. So Cal, whenever he finds him, he almost kills him using Darth Force Choke just because of how mad he is at this man, because he was the one who sent Bode to kill Cere, to kill Endo, and to kill Cal. So yeah, but he's definitely a mean guy. Oh yeah, the back of him, this I used for what's her name, Maris Brood or something. But yeah, so there is Denrik. So I went ahead and made my own Bedlem Raider because you find these guys all over the place, and I was like, might as well make them, like, they literally are everywhere in the game. So this one is, I forget what it's called, it's like a Bedlem, it starts with an S, it's, because there's so many different versions of them, but I looked in the game to kind of, you know, get the design off of this guy. But yeah, they kind of just, you know, look like, sort of like all over the place in a way, but they all kind of have these like hammer looking things, which is what I made for this guy. And then you got a golden face with a line, black hood, Iron Man's torso, these arms, these legs, and then this piece is actually from Creo, but I thought it worked well because it kind of has a jetpack like that. So yeah, Bedlem Raiders, man, they were everywhere. So these 4 people are just supposed to represent some of the townspeople that you can come across in Koboh. They really made the game a lot more open world, so you can just run into random strangers that'll ask you to do stuff, or that'll, you know, really do anything. You never know what they're going to ask of you or do. So I kind of just created 4 people to represent those sort of people that you come across in Koboh. And yeah, I think they look pretty neat, and I definitely enjoyed the missions with these people. And then here's more of some of the bad guys that you come across throughout the entire game. So the 2 battle droids on the right are sort of supposed to represent the Bedlem Raider battle droids. They should be red, but I think that they work fine like that. And then back there we have my custom built super battle droid, which you also find a lot of those, which were, you know, obviously Bedlem Raiders as well. It was really, really neat to see Clone Wars separatists in this game. So I really enjoyed that aspect, and the battle droids are really funny. And then obviously you see a ton of stormtroopers, and then this is the Scout Trooper was based off of Fallen Order, but you find them in Survivor as well. And they obviously have their, like, electric staffs. So yeah, those are some of the enemies that you come across. So now I'm going to be going through and showing you guys my custom figures based off of Jedi Fallen Order. So yeah, I kind of just upgraded a few of them and decided I'd throw in both the Survivor and Fallen Order figures into one video. So this is obviously Cal Kestis based off of Fallen Order. So he has his shorter swept-back hair, and I did paint it orange to replicate his color. And I think this hairpiece works absolutely perfectly for his hair. Like I said earlier, a lot of people like to use that other kind of hair, and I don't think that it represents him that well from this game. I think this is a lot better. And then that's Luke Skywalker's face, and it works well because his eyebrows are sort of orange already, so that works very neat. And so he obviously wears ponchos in this first game a lot, so I have Luke Skywalker's poncho there, and then underneath we sort of just have a torso that represents his scrapper outfit. And yeah, so we have his dark brown hand to represent his glove, Han Solo's pants. So his outfit is like the dark blue version, which is like the default basic one. And on this hand, his hand's out, blue lightsaber, and then the same sort of design to put BD there, except this is an actual BD unit. I do have the one from the actual BD set, but I want to keep it displayed with the set. So this one is from the N1 Starfighter. Yeah, it works really well. So yeah, I definitely did enjoy the look from Fallen Order that Cal runs. It's really neat. You know, it doesn't scream Jedi, but it looks Jedi-y, if that makes any sense. And I remember whenever I very first started playing, I always thought that his like blue outfit without the poncho reminded me of Starkiller. But yeah, really neat. Here is Cere from the first game. Obviously you meet her whenever you are on Bacta, and she comes in with the Mantis and saves you. And yeah, so this is whenever she was also sort of a Jedi in hiding. You know, she hadn't really, you know, embraced the Force or being a Jedi since Order 66, but through Cal, she kind of opened up more, and then we eventually get into Jedi Survivor, where she is restoring Jedi archives. But yeah, so I have her here holding the holocron, obviously, because that's what the first game is based about. And then the face is from the Hoth Battle Pack. I think that face works pretty well. She has Finn's longer hair, Asajj Ventress's torso, gray arms, and then dark gray legs. So yeah, there's Cere Junda from the first game. And then once again, we have the owner of the Mantis, Greez Dritus. So not too different from his Jedi Survivor look, other than he's wearing a red outfit, and then he has black pants, and those are the short movable legs. They were pretty cool. And then I had the same thing going on with the thing to make it look like he has 4 arms there. But yeah, so Greez, I love the character. Like I said, he's really funny, and I really loved him in both games. So yeah, Greez Dritus. We have Merrin once more. So this is Merrin based off of her Dathomir sort of Night Sister outfit. Obviously you meet her on Dathomir, and her character is so cool. Like, the fact that a Jedi met a Night Sister on Dathomir, and then, you know, she was going to kill him, but then she ended up joining the team. Like, what are the chances? It's really neat. But I do have to say, her character has always reminded me of Juhani from Knights of the Old Republic 1. Just sort of, you know, that female with the accent, and I don't know, just something about her has always reminded me about her. It would be really neat if I figured out that they took inspiration off of Juhani whenever creating Merrin. I would not be surprised if that was the case. But yeah, so here in her Lego form, I went for more of like whenever you find her on Dathomir. So she has her hood. This torso is from like a Power Ranger CMF, and it would actually be like absolutely perfect if the band was black instead of white. But yeah, it works pretty well. And then we have gray arms, gray legs, and then the hip piece is Iron Man's. And then in her hands, I give her this green studs to represent her you know, light sister abilities. So yeah. But like I was saying earlier, like the hints of the romance between her and Cal started in the first game, you know, and then it evolved. So yeah, but her character is very neat. And then of course I had to add in the second sister, Trilla. She is like the main bad guy of the entire game. She's obviously an Inquisitor, and you know, she is hunting down Jedi, so she's trying to hunt down Cal Kestis throughout the entire game, and also trying to hunt the holocron at the same time, because she does not want Cal to have it, and she wants to use the holocron to hunt down other Jedi. So yeah, you know, just a crazy character, and at the end, she almost turns, but then she's killed by Darth Vader. That was definitely a crazy scene, but yeah, so I think I've represented her pretty well in Lego. So we just got black pants, a black skirt, this like Imperial torso. I doubled up on the cape so that it's red on this side and then black in the back, and then we have her double-sided red lightsaber, the same sort of Hoth battle pack face, and then the short, sort of long, or like, I guess medium hair black that's sort of swept back there. So yeah, Trilla, the second sister. And then last but not least, I decided to add in Gurerra because he is in the second game, and then he's mentioned and then last but not least, I decided to add in Gurerra. He is in the first game, and he's also mentioned in the second game whenever Cal is doing work for him. You don't actually see him in the second game, and in the first game he's young. This is sort of his older look, but this is probably what he would look like around the second game. So yeah, I just like how this design turned out. Got the Hoth battle pack face, long sort of swept back hair. It's not really long, but I definitely think it works. Got this armor piece, which works really well, and then navy torso and stuff, and then these navy pants, and then he has his staff there. So yeah, Gurerra, you know, he's been in so much Star Wars media, and he's a really cool character, and we've actually never had him in Lego, which is kind of crazy, but yeah, so I just figured I'd throw him in kind of like a freebie. So that is all the minifigures out of the way, and now it is time to talk about the ship itself, the Mantis. So longtime subscribers would know that I made this ship actually like over a year ago, and since then it has gone through a ton of changes. If you were to look at the very first video I made about this ship and compare it to now, it's a lot different, for the better. And I'm very proud of how it looks, you know, considering that I made it out of literally like my parts, like stuff like this. I did not take anything out of pre-existing sets that I have. This is all made through extra parts and pieces, which is why I'm pretty proud of it. But yeah, so obviously the color is not based off of the Jedi Survivor color, because in Jedi Fallen Order you could customize the Mantis, and that is something they took out of the second game, so you could not like change the color of the Mantis. But I think it's fine, because I think that the reason why they did not do that was just probably for bugs and stuff, to create less lag, because I feel like whenever you're changing something as big as the ship you're driving, it might create stuff like that. So I think that it's still fine. So this is probably more based off of Jedi Fallen Order, but the Mantis is still the Mantis. But yeah, so here's sort of just like an overview of the ship itself. Yeah, I kind of tried to make it as if Lego were to make the set. I mean, if Lego did make it, I do not know if they would go this big, because it is quite the large set. And then yeah, here's the wing, and then the back here. Got the engines and everything. So yeah, real quick, I will just kind of show what a minifigure standing down looks like next to the Mantis. So yeah, I definitely think that like this is the height that Lego would make it if they were to make the Mantis. It's relatively tall. But yeah, so the color scheme I went with obviously is gray, red, and white. The front here, we have the cockpit with the sort of like slanted clear panes going on, which looks pretty cool. And then on the side here, we just sort of have some designs, and I smoothed it out quite a bit. Then over here we have the side engine. So this does not transform into flight mode. And I'm fine with that because I'm never going to have it displayed in flight mode. So that's why I decided to do that. But yeah, beforehand this all was just very blocky, and since then I've smoothed it out, and then I added some blue studs on the back there because whenever it's flying it looks like that. And then here's where the wing would spin. And on the side here we got the same sort of look, and then we have the side landing gear there. And then it's symmetrical on both sides. And the front here, we obviously have its stingers, which is why it's called the Stinger Mantis. So yeah, and I might as well do like a top-down view as well. And I kind of always do this, but I always like show my hand to kind of give you a perspective of how big this ship is. So it does have a full interior, and the full interior is really what I've changed. Like I said, I've made videos on this ship in the past, and not too much has changed from the outside, other than there was one thing I forgot to mention that I have changed since the last update of my Stinger Mantis, which was how thick the top of this is. It used to be like one stud inward, like this top panel, and so you could like see the top of these plates. And what I ended up doing was I wanted to make it bigger, and then I made it so it hung over. These top plates hung over these panels, and it did not look that good, but I made a video about it anyway. Since then I've made it so now it's just like aligned with it, and I think that looks a lot better. But yeah, so the main thing that I have changed was the interior, and it is more based off of Jedi Fallen Order, but like I said, there's really not too many differences between both of them in the first place. So opening it up here, these side panels do come down on either side, so you just pull it down like that, and then it allows you access to the interior. So coming on in here, you obviously have the seats with like the hollow table, or not hollow table, but I'm pretty sure you can like play that like checkered game there. Like you can't actually do it in the game, but that's probably what it represents. Then coming back here, we have the kitchen table, and then we have two seats, and then back here we have the kitchen. The colors are supposed to represent like the different food, and then there's like some sort of black stuff, which is what those pins represent. And that would be Cal's hallway, because Cal's room would be like back here, but I obviously don't have anything there. And then over here we just kind of have like shelves and stuff, and then we have the terrarium. You can collect different vegetation and plant it there. And in the second game, it's not in the Mantis. You actually have an entire place in Pylon Saloon where you have a garden. So yeah. And then coming down here, we have the hollow table, which has like I upgraded it a little bit. So yeah, I got the hollow table there. And then coming forward, we have like the main place where he drives the Mantis. So this bar here is simply there for support of the roof, so that should not be there technically. But yeah, so we have like the seats on either side with controls, and then we got Cal's seat, and then we have Greez's seat here. And I actually changed the driving gear so it looks a lot better now. And then obviously we have the cockpit there, or the windshield piece. So yeah, that's the inside. Beforehand, I had like Cal's room right there, and like I didn't really have much going on, so I definitely like this look a lot better, and I'm pretty proud of it. So yeah, and then all you have to do is just place the roof on like so, and it's pretty sturdy and protected because of the design I went with. So yeah, that is the Stinger Mantis. That's, you know, the main ship that I built to go alongside the minifigures, because I think it's probably the most iconic sort of thing from the Jedi games. But yeah. So there we have it, my full overview of both my Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order minifigures and Lego set. So yeah, this took me a little bit over a week to get all of the minifigures created and like design and stuff, and I even did order a few parts and go to stores to get a few parts for some of these minifigures. and I'm just really, really happy with how they all turned out. I don't think LEGO will ever make a Mantis set, or, you know, if they do, I doubt they'd make every character that we have here, because they did make BD1, but they said that they were going to stay away from making sets from this game because it's too violent, so I took it upon myself to make the minifigures myself, because I really just love these games. Jedi Survivor, wow, that was a masterpiece. A legit masterpiece. I love the game so much, so it's just, I'm really thankful I have these minifigures here. So yeah, if you guys go on to enjoy the video, make sure to hit like, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.